Imagine this. You wake up, grab your morning coffee, and scroll through the headlines on your phone. And there it is, in bold letters. Congress pushes new bill. Social Security benefits could finally be tax-free. For seniors across America, this headline isn't just news. It's hope. Because for decades, retirees have been asking one simple question. Why are we paying taxes on money we already work for? Let's break this down. Every American worker pays into Social Security. From the first paycheck to the very last, money is automatically deducted. It's not optional. It's not voluntary. It's mandatory. The promise? That one day, in retirement, those benefits will come back as a guaranteed lifeline. But here's the twist many people don't realize until it's too late. When you finally receive those benefits, the government can tax them again. That's right. You pay into the system all your life, and then you're taxed on your own retirement benefits. Now here's where it gets even more frustrating. Not all Social Security benefits are taxed the same way. It depends on your income. For lower-income retirees, benefits might not be taxed at all. But for millions of middle-class retirees, people who worked hard, saved modestly, maybe have a pension or some small investment income, up to 85% of their Social Security check can be subject to federal income tax. Think about that. 85%. That means almost 9 out of every $10 in your benefit could be taxed. For seniors who thought they'd be safe after retirement, this feels like being robbed twice. So where did this begin? When Social Security was created in the 1930s, benefits were 100% tax-free. Seniors received every single penny. For decades, the promise held strong. Social Security was untouchable. But then came the 1980s. Facing financial strain, Congress passed a law allowing up to 50% of benefits to be taxed. A few years later, in the 1990s, they raised the stakes again. Up to 85% could now be taxed, depending on income. It was pitched as a temporary fix to help government budgets. But as we all know, nothing is ever temporary in Washington. Once that money started flowing, it never stopped. Fast forward to today. Millions of retirees now pay taxes on the very benefits they spent decades funding. And it's not just the wealthy. Middle-class couples, seniors who worked average jobs their entire lives, are shocked to see their benefits shrink at tax time. For many, this is the difference between affording medication or skipping doses, between paying heating bills or going cold, between a comfortable retirement or constant financial stress. This is why the new bill in Congress has people talking. The proposal is simple but powerful. Make all Social Security benefits completely tax-free. No matter your income, no matter your savings, no matter your background. If you earned it, you keep it. Period. Imagine what that would mean. A retired widow who now loses $2,000 a year in taxes would finally keep that money. A retired couple taxed on 85% of their benefits could suddenly see thousands more dollars in their pockets. For millions of seniors, that money could pay for groceries, medical bills, property taxes, or simply provide peace of mind. It's not just financial relief, it's dignity restored. But here's where the battle begins. Supporters argue this is about fairness. They say seniors have been taxed enough. They worked their entire lives. They paid into the system. Why should they pay again? They argue that making Social Security tax-free is about honoring the original promise of the program. But opponents are raising alarms. They point out that the government collects billions each year from Social Security taxes. If that revenue disappears, what happens to the federal budget? What happens to the already troubled Social Security Trust Fund? This is the heart of the debate. On one side, fairness, relief, and dignity for seniors. On the other, warnings of deficits, debt, and long-term sustainability. And stuck in the middle? Millions of retirees who just want a straight answer. The stakes couldn't be higher. Right now, Social Security is already standing on shaky ground. Experts, analysts, and even government trustees themselves have been warning for years that the program is heading toward a financial cliff. The math is simple and terrifying. By the early 2030s, Social Security's trust funds are projected to run short of money. If Congress does nothing, benefits could automatically be cut by as much as 20 to 25% across the board. Imagine that. A retiree counting on $1,500 a month could suddenly see that number drop to barely over $1,100. That isn't just a cut. It's financial devastation for millions of seniors who have no other income to fall back on. This is where the debate over taxes comes in. Right now, the federal government collects billions every year by taxing Social Security benefits. It's money that flows directly into the system, helping keep it afloat just a little longer. Critics argue that if those taxes are suddenly eliminated, if benefits become fully tax-free, Social Security could hit its financial crisis even faster. They warn that it could shave years off the program's solvency. And with the trust fund already on track to run dry in about a decade, even a small hit could trigger a massive ripple effect. But supporters see it very differently. They argue that Washington's problem isn't revenue, it's waste. Year after year, the federal government spends trillions of dollars on programs that many Americans never see or benefit from. Billions are poured into foreign aid. Billions more go toward corporate bailouts. And then there are the countless pet projects pushed through Congress. Bridges to nowhere, subsidies for special interests, and government contracts that balloon far beyond their budgets. Supporters ask a simple question. If Washington can always find money for those priorities, why can't it find money for seniors? Why should retirees, the very people who worked, paid taxes, and built the country, be the ones carrying the burden? To them, taxing Social Security is not just about numbers. It's about fairness and dignity. They believe the government has more than enough resources to make up the difference elsewhere, without touching seniors' checks. This is the clash of perspectives. On one side, financial experts raising alarms about solvency. On the other, advocates demanding that seniors come first, no matter what. And caught in the middle are retirees, people who don't care about budget charts or political talking points. They just want what was promised to them, a stable, reliable Social Security check they can count on every month. The question now is, who will Congress listen to? The critics who say removing taxes could accelerate the program's collapse? Or the supporters who say Washington must stop wasting money elsewhere and finally protect seniors? This debate is not just about policy. It's about values. It's about whether America chooses to prioritize its seniors or treat them as just another line item in the budget. So what happens next? The bill is gaining attention. Some lawmakers on both sides of the aisle are backing it. Why? Because seniors are one of the most powerful voting groups in America. They vote in higher numbers than almost any other demographic. And with elections always around the corner, politicians are listening. For now, nothing is guaranteed. Bills like this have been introduced before, only to stall in endless debates. But this time, the pressure feels different. Inflation has hammered retirees. Every trip to the grocery store feels more expensive. Every trip to the doctor costs more. And for seniors living on fixed incomes, every dollar lost to taxes is a dollar they can't replace. So here's the suspense. Will Congress finally act? Will Social Security benefits truly become tax-free? Or will this be yet another headline that fades away, another promise left unfulfilled? For retirees, the stakes couldn't be higher. This isn't about politics. It isn't about left versus right. It's about fairness. It's about keeping the promise made to every American worker. It's about whether seniors can finally retire with dignity, without Uncle Sam taking one last bite of their benefits. For now, the clock is ticking. The bill is on the table. The debate is underway. And millions of seniors are waiting, hoping that this time Washington finally does the right thing.